All right, all right. How's everybody doing out there? Hey, this is Brian, aka Uncle B, and this is typically the Uncle B and Fee show, but Fee is doing her little summer sabbatical for the hot second. So we do have a banger for you though. We still got to keep it going. Got to keep it going. Today we're going to be talking about why women should pay on dates. Yeah. Oh my God, Clutch. Did you just say that out loud? Yes, yes. Women, ladies, you should.
And thank you for tuning in.
Hey, once again, this is the Uncle B and Fee show, and we do get it in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go ahead, hit that like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell so you get some more of this information, because we do talk about relationships and the things your mammy and pappy weren't able to tell you about because it was all new. This is all new. We live in a new time, new day and age. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about how women should pay on dates and the reasons why. And for the ladies, if you are fine for paying for dates and that's not a problem for you, just go ahead and listen, and please pass this on to your cousins, your friends, your aunties and them, because there's a lot of women who still believe for some strange reason that they should be, just go on dates and the man should just go ahead and pay for it. For the ladies who do think that everything I'm about to say is some bullshit, you need to pay attention more than anybody else, because it's not working. It wasn't working before. It's not working anymore. And I'm going to explain to you why. Because you may hear something today that you've experienced and you didn't know why. You're just sitting there thinking that, I don't know why he didn't call me, why I got ghosted, what just happened to this, why he's different now. I'm going to break that down for you. And hopefully, if you hear this, if you accept it, if you put it into action, you'll have a better outcome when it comes to dating, or you pass this on to somebody else. Maybe they will. So for those fellas who out there, there's some of you who do that, who think this is some bullshit too. Man, you've been played. You have been gaming on you, and you lost already. It's not making any sense for you. I'm going to break that down. And the way I like breaking this down is by telling stories, so you can get this into your head really quick. And I've been having this conversation for years with ladies talking about, hey, you need to go Dutch on these dates. And they're like, oh, no, the man is supposed to pay, and I have these reasons. I've listened, I've written these reasons down. I'm going to break these reasons down as to why they make no sense. And it's actually pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Selfish. Yeah, selfish. And mean. So here's the story. So we had this guy, my man Mike. Let's call him Mike. So Mike is, he's doing his thing. He's got his degree together. He got his good job. He got his apartment. He got his car together. He's, things are working out. So he's finally like, okay, it's time for me to go out there and find Miss Mike. All right. So he has 3 prospects in line. Okay, well, we can't do all 3 at the same time, so let me go ahead and choose 2 of them to start dating. And that's what he does. Now, he goes out there with that mindset of like, okay, society has said that a man's supposed to pay for the dates, so I'm going to pay for these dates. Okay. And he's going with 2 women who are like, they agree wholeheartedly. Yes, the man's supposed to pay for the dates, but here's the problem. One of them doesn't care. She's not there for the relationship. She's there for the male attention and for the meal. Okay, got you. The other one, though, she really likes Mike. She's into him. She's like, okay, I hope this all works out. They start dating. Well, here's what happens. So every date costs $100. So he's going on a date on Friday and on Saturday, every weekend of the month. So basically, $200 a weekend. That's $800 a month, $1,600 every 2 months. Okay, so everything is going along until, Mike looks at his account statement and is like, oh, whoa, what have I been doing? Because he's down $1,600. It's like a really good car, a house note, things of that nature. He's like, what's going on? He goes back and looks and realizes, oh crap, this dating is expensive. I need to cut one of them. So here's what typically happens. He's going to cut the wrong one. The girl who's really into him. Well, she's, so worried about her hair and her lipstick. And did she say the right thing? Is he going to call? Blah, blah, blah. She's very timid, very, just a little bit awkward. And the other one who doesn't care at all, well, she's more fun. She's more excited because she doesn't give a shit. She'll just fart right in front of him. Like, that's what I do. And he's like, oh, she's just funny. Okay. So he ends up like, oh, homegirl who really likes me, she's not as fun. So let me go with a homegirl who's way more fun. And then he keeps going out with her and then realizes she isn't there for him. She doesn't want any relationship, but damn sure ain't getting him any sex. He's just getting at the end of the night a hug and then a kiss on the forehead. And everybody's on their way. That church hug that nothing touches, that's what he's getting. And then he realizes, oh no, I picked the wrong one. Then he realizes, okay, there's another chick out there. He's talking to her like, well, I'm not sure about going out because I'm, it's like, oh, well, we can hang out. This is what she's saying to him. We can hang out, we go Dutch, whatever. Let's just hang out. And so they go out, money is not the issue anymore. It's just he pays, she pays. Next time, he pays a little bit extra, then next time she pays a little bit extra. They go back and forth a little bit like that. They're developing a friendship where money isn't a barrier. Yeah. This is something that can last. This is something you look at people who have great relationships. What are they typically saying? Oh, well, they're my best friend. Well, if you're going to have a best friend, you need to start being friendly, being a friend. So, that's basically how this happens. For those ladies who are trying to figure out, I was really into him, then he stopped calling me. Yeah, he was basically running out of money. And no, he wasn't going to sit there and like, yeah, let me explain to you how my checking account, my savings account don't match. Yeah, all that stuff. So here's the typical responses I've heard from women who, we have this conversation. Let's go through them. He shouldn't spend so much money. Okay. He should be more creative. I guess so. He can't afford to date. Oh, damn. Oh, okay. Tony had his shit together, but oh well. He should date fewer women. That sucks for him. He should consider it a privilege. What? Okay. He should talk to her about it before. That's an odd conversation. All right. Paying for dates is traditional for men. Where did this come from? Okay. He's showing his ability to provide by going on dates. Okay. I have to pay for my outfit. So he's paying for the date and you're paying for your outfit. Okay. I don't need him to pay. I have my own money. Well, I mean, that's sort of confusing altogether. Because ladies, there's a dating timeline for men. I'm going to break that down. And, I also got a couple of other stories. So, stay with me because I'm going to make this make sense. Okay. Let's start with the first thing. He shouldn't spend so much money. That's the first thing we always say. But here's the thing. Mike's a grown man. He enjoys nice things too. So it shouldn't be that he meets another grown adult working human and all of a sudden he has to pay. He has to lower his standards in order to accommodate this other person. Hey, that's not helpful. I mean, adults cost money. You cost money. There isn't any, oh, well, you should just, no, you cost money. And the main thing is most people eat whenever they go out. That's just hey, you're going to be out for a couple of hours, few hours. Typically that's around daytime, mealtime, things happen. So yeah, he spending, you want him to go to lower level restaurants with you. That's what you're saying? Okay. He should be more creative. Oh, that's always a fun one. So once again, he likes nice things too. And now he has to creatively lower his standard. What's going on with that? Why would he do that when you have a job also? Because you still have to eat. Even if you do, I've done this before. You got to pack a picnic. You pack stuff up, and then you got to pay for the food too. You're just getting it from the grocery store, then packing it up, and then now it just takes more time to do it. Okay. Now this is one thing I've heard before. If he wants to be with me, he will make time and spend money. Newsflash, ladies, there are more women on the planet than men. I'm not sure how this got missed, but if every black man married every black woman, there'd be 2 million black women left. This applies around the world, except maybe in some parts of China. But yeah, there are more women than there are men. That's just nature. So he has more choices. it should be you're trying to make yourself more appealing to him instead of him trying to make himself more appealing to you. You see the numbers aren't working in your favor, no matter how you slice it. And also, the older he gets, the more options he has. Yeah, at 50, I can date between 35 and 65. There's not too many 35-year-old men who are looking to date 50-year-old women. That's just the way stuff works out. So, other things, he can't afford to date. You can't afford to date. You really, we're going to get into the timeline for men, but at the time where he can't afford to date, that's really where you should be paying attention to him. It's like, what else is he doing? Is he moving forward with his life? We'll get to that in a second. He should date fewer women. That actually limits your options. If every man was like, you know what, instead of dating 2 women to figure it out, let me take the time to just date this 1 woman. And nope, that didn't work out. That's 4 months down the drain. Another woman. Oh, that didn't work out. Another 3 months down the drain. Another woman. 2 months down the drain. I mean, yeah. You're cutting out your own options. He should consider it a privilege. That's arrogant. That's arrogant as fuck. I mean, what? He is a human, just like you are a human. Both of you have mothers and fathers. That's the way this process works. And there's this whole concept of like, well, I'm a queen. No, you're not. Queens have subjects in a country. They can go to a person in their country and say, you need to go to war for the country. Go to war for me. And that person will say, yes, my queen. Have you ever asked somebody to do that for you? Have they ever answered, yes, my queen? That's because you're not a queen. Okay. Bosses. I'm a boss bitch. No, you're not. We got maybe one of those B's, but bosses have to pay payroll and payroll taxes. I'm a boss. I understand that. That's not cute. So, it's sort of offensive to me when people just say they're a boss for no damn reason. Yeah. And if you're so fine, then why aren't you married already? You should be already out of the game, but we'll leave that one alone. Now, that weird one, he should talk to her about it before. Talk to her about it in terms of money. Other than talking to you about, maybe going Dutch, going up to a person and like, well, let me show you my W-2. He doesn't know you, lady. Why is anybody just gonna walk up to you to like want to go on a date with you and now they have to explain their finances? There's easier ways to do this, like you pay too. Paying for dates is traditional for men. No, it's not. That is a huge, confusing look at history. First of all, let's talk about tradition. Tradition means more than 2 generations. That's when something becomes traditional. Otherwise, it's just a 2-generation fad. But let's go ahead and look back in the 50s and on back. In 50s, you had to go meet the person's parents, meet their family. There were smaller communities, less communications. You weren't meeting women at the bar. You had to go to their house. Oh, I see you. Hey, how you doing? Thus and so. Oh, well, it's blah, blah, blah. I have to go over to your house, meet your parents. Somebody's cooking and, grandma's sitting there by the window while y'all sitting on the porch. 50s. Then we get to the 60s and 70s. It were house parties. It was community situations. You met people at church, stuff like that. There wasn't like, hey, let's go out and go to a restaurant and go eat, because especially for black people, your options were limited. People's options were limited back in the day anyway. There wasn't McDonald's everywhere. There wasn't like KFC everywhere or damn near at all. So, we're now talking about what we're looking at, what people call traditional, is the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So let's just roughly over just 40 years, less than a full generation, just over a full generation. Basically, you're talking about the club era. That's when we got into this thought process we have right now. When you go to the club as a woman, you go to the club, you sit at the bar, and a man is supposed to just come over and buy you a drink, and that's his introduction to you. According to everybody else in history, that's weird. Because what is she doing at a bar drinking? They had words for you. Harlot. Whoops. So no, this is all new. The club scene, going out to restaurants and paying. Before, it was like the woman would need to know how to cook to, entice the man. This is new. All of this is new. So paying is not traditional. This is new. He is showing his ability to provide. That's a weird one. and not true. Paying for a date has nothing to do with providership. In a marriage, you can't go out every night. You can't. You'll go broke. You and him. You're married together, same finances, things like that, entangled. You'll go broke. So this is dating it's fairy tale land. It's not real. So asking someone to pay and saying that's showing providership is not true. Date night and house taxes are not the same thing. Property taxes, it's not the same thing. That's a completely different level of, I'm going out to get some food and entertainment. I have to pay for where I live, including the property it's on. Hugely different, not the same. I have to pay for my outfit. Oh my God, no. You have to pay for your outfit? That is by far the worst excuse I've ever heard. I was like, the first time I heard that, I was like, you tripping. What you smoking? Because that makes no sense. You telling me that you went out, bought a dress, bought an outfit, bought your shoes, bought your weave, your eyelashes, your fingernails, all this stuff, went out on a date, and you came back home and set all that shit on fire. You never going to use. I went out, homegirl had the same dress on again. What? How's she going to have the same dress on when she bought the outfit just for the date? So no, don't use that one ever again. That's just silly. Here's one of the weird ones. I don't need him to pay. I have my own money. That's the whole fucking point. That's the whole point. You have your own money. You should be helping out with this process. Even if you don't have as much as he has, offer. We'll get into that. And that weird saying that keeps going around, I could do bad all by myself. And you can do worse all by yourself. That's the reason why people don't want to be all by themselves. Except now, where I can do bad all by myself is somehow a badge of honor, and it shows my independence while I want to be in a relationship, which is also really weird. How can you possibly be independent and in a relationship at the same time? If a man told you, hey, I know we're in a relationship, but I want to be independent, doesn't that sound like he want to fuck somebody else? Yes, it does. Does it sound like you want to? Mm-hmm. Yes, it does. All right. Here's the thing about all these excuses, ladies and gentlemen. These excuses just show that you're inconsiderate. You're not considering the other human who you want to be with, possibly mate with, possibly spend the rest of your life with. If you don't care about that at all, then you're messing it up for everybody else. But for the people who want to be in relationships, you can't just up and say, you know what? I think that it's more important for you to spend money on me than it is for us to get to know each other. I would rather have this money be a barrier that it either works or it doesn't work whenever you run out of money, but I don't care because I don't care about you. Who wants to be in a relationship with a person who doesn't care? No one. You don't. But you're going to go around with the thought process, you know what, I can do whatever I want to and not care about this person. And yeah, they're going to go along with it. No, they're not. So think this all the way through. Let's talk about the dating timeline for men. Basically, that's for guys who are 20 to 30, you're figuring things out. 30 to 40, you're locking in on your purpose. 40 to 50 is when you're able to financially lock in. Okay? So I've seen this happen with my own parents. 20 to 30, they had children. Yeah. And my father was, a high quality man, but he still has to figure out, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? By his 30s, he was like, oh, I'm over here locked into my career. I know what my career path is. And into the 40s and 50s, that's when the money started showing up because, hey, kids were getting out of the house. So now the money's starting to build. And they can, do different things, travel and blah, 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 head towards retirement. And, money's still an object, but it's not as bad as an object as a person by themselves who's doing worse by themselves. So that's what you need to understand about men. So when you're dating a man, you really need to pay attention to, is he not potential? We're looking at projection, as in, here's what he's done. Here's what he's saying he's going to do. Here's where I'm sitting looking at milestones. He said he was going to do this, this happened. He said he's going to do this, this happened. You're projecting out. Okay, this is going in the right direction. That's how you pick a man in his 20s, in his 30s. Because once he hits his 40s, options open up. He can start dating ages whatever he wants to because he has more financial wherewithal. That's the way this works. And I've experienced this myself. I've gone out on dates when I didn't had roommates. And it's like, oh yeah, I'm in my 30s with roommates. It's like, oh, she couldn't deal with me. I mean, I got that look like, oh, you just broke. I mean, woo, that was painful. That was a painful look. But once I hit my 40s and things start coming in, my businesses start to, once I hit my 40s and things started making more sense, then it was like, hey, this is how we can go forward. I can do some level of providership. There's the projection. The work has already been done. You want to get guys when they're early because it's going to be harder when they get to their 40s. That's just the way it is. And for those guys who are like, yeah, but the man's still supposed to pay. I know of a woman, it was my homegirl. She was going with a guy, baller, had the 5 Series BMW, had the house out in Bowie, Maryland, had the 6-figure job. Everything was going great. I didn't like them together, but she was one of those ones who insisted that you pay for the dates. And so he had the money, so he was paying for the dates. And what happened? He got into a car accident with his 5 Series, just driving drunk, got into a car accident. And of course, because the accident was pretty bad, lost the car, lost the job, on his way to losing the house. Lost the car, lost the job, on his way to losing the house, and guess what ended up happening? Do you think she stuck around? That would be a no. That would be a no. So yeah, if a person is if money is there, money has to be there, money is the issue, then yeah, once the money is not there, they're going to be leaving. So for my ladies who are like, okay, what do I do? I'm getting what you're saying about the excuses. I think, yeah, that's probably is inconsiderate. It is showing a lack of caring. Well, the first thing to do is stop playing games with the who asked who out. That's always that, well, he asked me out, so that means he paid, or she asked me out. Them. If you come across somebody with projection, who can project towards the future, go ahead and get them now and not worry about whether or not you're paying for a date. Paying for the dating is a small piece of the relationship. It's an early piece, a small piece. So yes, you should have money saved up to be able to say, hey, I want to hang out with this dude, and do that. Yeah. Without him worrying about, my checking account, my saving account didn't match. And, it takes like 2 days for it to, nah. Go ahead and ask him out. Offer to go Dutch. Even if he asks, just offer. It's like, oh, okay, cool. That's really nice. The bill comes. I was like, oh, I got half. I got my half. Yeah. You're an adult. You can do that. Plan and pay for dates too. This whole thing about be creative. It's like, yes, that's on both of your parts. Yeah. If you're going to be married to this person, you want to make sure he understands that you are there to help, not there to be a financial burden. And that's a big thing. If you're going on dates and you're a financial burden regardless of how cute you think you are, what kind of level of queen he's supposed to do this. You're a financial burden. When you're a financial burden, people unload burdens. Lay your burdens down by the riverside. So what you want to do is make yourself invaluable. How do you make yourself invaluable? Well, okay, if he's on his purpose, he's figured out his purpose, he's on his purpose, how can you help him out? It's still dating, but it's like, hey, you know what? If I could help you out. I could help you out with this, blah, 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 see how you doing that, blah, blah, blah. Or if you're not even in his field or whatever, you don't understand what he's doing, just being supportive of him. That's the whole thing of, making yourself invaluable the same way you do at your job. And here's a number one thing that a lot of women miss. Be his emotional confidant. That's the real reason why we want to be with you. It's like, oh, well, there's sex. Sex is 1% of the week. If you're getting it in every day for 5 minutes, which is the average amount of time for sex, that's 1% of your time. So yes, sex is important. Yes, people like to have sex. Yes, sex is the reason for the relationship. It's not companionship. It's for sex. You can have companionship with your other friends and stay friends. If you want to be with a person in a relationship, it is about the sex, children, etc. So yeah, sex counts, but it's a small part. The huge part is his emotional confidant. I come home, I complain about my day, I have a willing ear. A person who's like, oh yeah, wants to give me encouragement, things like that. That's how you get and keep a man. You don't get and keep a man by being a financial burden off top. Jesus, what are you doing? That's all I got to say on the subject. That's all I got to say. Hey, this is Brian, aka Uncle B. This is the Uncle B and Fee show. Yes, go ahead and hit me up in the comments. Let me know, does any of this make sense to you? You think I'm on some bullshit? Let me know that too. Fee will be back. She'll answer those questions too. So let's go. Let's get into it. But in the meantime, let's look for, we're going to be on next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, this is Uncle B for the Uncle B and Fee show saying, enjoy yourself. Peace out.